Public Works has had a busy year. We build buildings, we maintain buildings, we build stormwater devices, we maintain stormwater devices, we do roadways, and we maintain roadways. We also run buses, and we had a great year for STS, even with COVID. We got people to work on time where they needed to go. So as far as buildings go, it was particularly productive for the Sheriff's Department. We got District 4, which is down in Lexington Park on Great Mills Road, open. We got District 3, which is on First Colony Road, open. And we got the Community Corrections Center, which is a joint project, a really cool joint project between the Health Department and the Sheriff's Department that allow those two agencies to work with people before they go to trial to try to help them with whatever problems may have brought them into the judicial system. That also involves then the school board, the school system. If they have kids that are in the system that maybe have issues, just a great combination and a great collaboration, which is critical. Speaking of collaboration, the recently opened female wing and hospital medical facility for the Adult Detention and Rehabilitation Center was a great example of collaboration and cooperation. It was built using design build, which means that there really is not a set of plans at the beginning. There's specifications, there's wishes and wants that are very specifically laid out in the specs, but there's no real set of plans. In that case, the contractor, Scheibel Construction, actually hired the architect to work with the county, meaning the Sheriff's Department, the Health Department, and DPW&T, our department, to get that built. The plans evolved over a period of time and produced a building, which I'm glad to say is operational and can bring a much higher standard of treatment on site for people. If people are ill, if people need to be detoxed, they can do it right there. They don't need to go to another facility. It can all be done on site. And that way the social workers and so forth can work directly with the inmates in order to help them get their life in order. Very proud of that project. There's still 3 phases left, which are the rehabilitation of the existing building. Each pod, they call it, within the facility needs to be rehabbed, so that'll be done. And air conditioning will be added where there's no air conditioning now. You really can't get people's mind focused on trying to get their life straightened out or have the sheriff's correction officers try to maintain order when it's 110 degrees in the building. So this will just be a phenomenal improvement. Very proud of that too. As far as FDR Boulevard roadway projects, we completed another phase last year. This year, though, we're going to work on phase 3. We had the plans ready to go out for bid, and that particular phase will take us from where we ended all the way up to what is in effect gate 1 of the base. And by doing that, it will allow a viable alternative, especially for people who live directly off FDR, but even those who can turn from MD4, St. Andrews Church Road, and just carry on down all the way to Gate 1, or to the businesses that are along there. The other roadway projects, we have a whole series in planning, and we're working with the state on improving the intersection at Great Mills Road and Point Lookout Road and Indian Bridge Road. That's sort of a conglomerate there where it all comes together and produces huge traffic jams. Speaking of Great Mills Road, though, in order to make that more people-friendly for the people that have to ride the bus, we've got our permits ready to go, and we're going to put bus stops in along Great Mills Road. First year we'll just have signs, but we're going to follow up probably in the spring with actual shelters to try to allow people to get out of the weathers, while they're waiting for the bus beside the road. It's a really and that's what we're also focusing on, trying to do what we do better. For example, the custodians have to maintain all of the county buildings. Previously, we had contracted that work out, but now we have our own employees who help us determine what the best way is to clean things, what the best way to work with the people that are in those buildings, and get the level of sanitizing done. We still have COVID, I'm afraid, and general cleaning done. And they do a great job. I'm very proud of them. Yeah, the state was very successful with their roundabouts on Route 234. And we want to mimic that success, where you have a free flow of traffic. Get rid of the stop signs, allow the traffic just to keep moving. And I think that anyone who's used 234 is witnessed that success. The department has used roundabouts on FDR Boulevard, and I believe quite successfully there as well. If you don't stop, you use less gasoline, and you get to where you need to go quicker. But we can also build in pedestrian safety improvements as a part of that. The STS bus system had to go through dramatic transitions during COVID. We had to cut the number of passengers allowed on each bus. The drivers, of course, had to clean all the high-touch surfaces all the time, because they actually had to transport 6 people. There are some people, they have no other options. And they're fully aware of that. We provided masks to everyone that came on the bus if they didn't have their own. We're gradually transitioning from that. We're still requiring masks. It's a federal mandate, and we follow that. And we're still providing masks to anyone who doesn't have them. We've had excellent compliance. I'm very happy with that. But we now can fill a bus, which is really important. Previously, we had to have what we called chase buses, sometimes 2 buses running one route, one right behind the other. Not a very efficient, cost-effective way to run transit. So that's greatly helped. This summer, we've instituted a $20 all-day pass for anyone, and it's a great way to get around, see the county. You can sightsee, $20 all day, and you get to quite a few places that way. We're gradually replacing our older buses. We had a couple buses that had over 600,000 miles on them. And our maintenance crew is fantastic, but there are limits to what they can do. And most appreciative to Maryland Transit Administration for those grants that help us with some of the cost of that bus replacement. We're also targeting improving the quality of life for our drivers. They, of course, got some pay increases, but we're also providing them with a break area that's much more accommodating, where they can also meet and have training. And that'll be a great improvement for them. Should have that all in place and completed by the end of the calendar year. So you may ask yourself, why am I standing here on this road that doesn't appear to go anywhere? And it has a lot of big buildings behind it. We are on the airport right now, and the buildings behind us are a couple of the newest hangars at the airport. Those can handle almost anything. In fact, when one of the Navy admirals flew in, he flew into our airport, not NAS PAX. He flew in there and he put his plane in one of those hangars directly behind me that's got the door up, because we could accommodate it with that. Those were built with as a private development, and what you're seeing, including the road, is an example of that, a public-private.
It's actually very appropriate, though. We'll just keep going.
And that's one of the planes that are based here. But at any rate, so the roadway and the hangars are a public-private partnership, which is kind of the key to the success of the airport. And we want to take that to the next level. So what appears to be the end of the road off to my right is actually where the connection, the gateway, is going to be to the west end of the airport, where we'll have more hangars that will allow people to run offices, work on aircraft, repair aircraft, and actually increase some of the research and manufacturing that already goes on here at the airport. So there's some very important electronics research. There's ongoing autonomous systems, better known as drones, research that goes on here, not just airborne, but also in the water. That will be accentuated by an incredible new building that the University of Maryland is building at what used to be called the Higher Education Center, and is now called, let's see if I can get this right, the University System of Maryland in Southern Maryland. And so the original two buildings are still there. They're still offering the higher level college courses there, but there's an incredible new facility that will be focused on unmanned systems, but will also allow research and classes into a whole host of engineering facilities, which makes me happy because I'm an engineer. The west end of the airport, though, has great promise for us. We can put probably 4 or 5 of those large hangars down there, as well as some office space. And the roadways under design right now, that will connect up to Lawrence Hayden Road. So what appears to be a dead-end road is really the beginning of the connection to all of the different businesses, many aeronautically oriented, that are on the west end of the airport over on Airport View Road. So by connecting to Lawrence Hayden, which connects to Airport View Road, we connect all of that together, which will allow synergy between what goes on directly at the airport, you know, businesses that need ramp space in order to fly, whatever they're doing, but also it allows them just a much closer collaboration without having to drive all the way out onto Three Notch Road, come over Airport Road, and connect in. Another project that's underway is converting what used to be terminal space in the airport terminal. We're still going to call it the terminal, but in fact, that's part of the branding exercise.
Oh, we stopped. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's part of the branding exercise that we currently went through. We want to bring a restaurant into that airport, as well as office space for aeronautically oriented businesses. So stay tuned for that. I look forward to having a cup of coffee or whatever, something else with all of you someday out at the airport terminal. Thank you.